The drive back is quiet but not awkward, just a comfortable silence. I believe me marking him suddenly made everything more real. Before, it was, in a sense, easy to play off that he's my mate, easier to deny our bond, or our weak one anyway. Now, though, people will find out. The entire city will realize Valen has been marked. The paparazzi will go berserk. And now I worry about what that means for Valerian. I can handle the dramas the media will portray, but Valerian is still a child. I know once it's out, a lot of people will have something to say about it. Also, I can already imagine the rumors that he knocked up some rogue whore and was forced to take me as his mate. The things I can see them saying about me in papers would sting me, but could damage my son. I'm used to negativity, but no child should have to deal with that. I think we should move the date of the Alpha meeting, I whisper.
You want to push it back?
Valen asks, and I shake my head. Move it forward. Once the media gets their hands on this story, it'll blow up. It should be announced to stop it hurting Valerian. And my father, I think. I hate the idea of confronting him, yet I know it will be worse if he found out via some news article. I know I shouldn't care what he believes after everything. I'm an adult now, and he no longer controls my life. But for some reason, it nags at me. Some part believes that he shouldn't find out through a news outlet.
Anyone says anything about our son, Everly, and they won't have a city to live in,
he says, putting his hand on my leg. You can't just kick people out of the city. That's not the answer, Valen, and that's not what I'm worried about.
Then what are you worried about?
I'm worried about what version of our strange, whatever it is. I sigh, rubbing my temples before looking at him. They're going to say some horrible shit about you being with a rogue whore. Valerian has only just found out about you. Well, about who you are. And I worry that what they say about both of us will have an impact on him.
Then I tell them the truth. Simple.
It's not that simple. You have a reputation to uphold in this city, Valen. One that holds power.
I don't care about my reputation, Everly. They can say what they want about me. They do anyway. But if you think I'm going to let you take the fall for all of it, you're mistaken.
They'll say I'm a gold digger, someone who trapped you. Probably say Valerian isn't yours.
That they can't say. You can tell by his aura. Plus, DNA will shut them up.
My father is going to lose his mind, I mutter, shaking my head.
Surprisingly, my father took it pretty well,
Valen adds, making me think of Kalen and my meeting with him. I saw your father earlier today, I admit, looking back out the window.
Did he threaten you? If he did, tell me. I'll handle it,
Valen says. You would really go against your father for a rogue?
For you and Valerian, I'd go against the entire world if needed,
Valen says, and I chew my lip. I can feel he means what he said. Feeling him makes his words hold more meaning, and I don't know what to think about him. He can lie through words, but not through the bond. So to feel that he means exactly what he said kind of throws me off. He didn't threaten me. He told me to let you mark me. He chuckles.
Yeah, he's a good father. Strict, but he means well, mostly.
Is that why he tried to get you to marry my sister?
No idea what he meant by that. He's hated your father for decades. It makes no sense to me,
Valen admits, and I can feel his worry through the bond, making me realize he, too, noticed his father's change in attitude.
Are you worried about your father finding out?
Valen asks as we pull into the hotel parking space. He stops the car. Yes and no. I'll be relieved I don't have to keep it a secret anymore, but I'm also scared of everyone's reaction.
Why didn't you just tell him?
I raise an eyebrow at him, and he laughs.
Yeah, that was a dumb question.
He adds,
Do you think he would have kicked you out if he knew?
I've thought of that, actually. Thought about telling him, especially once I found out you were, in fact, my mate.
Then why didn't you? Would have saved you being homeless.
Your father isn't the only one that worries about his reputation, Valen. When he found out I was pregnant, he tried to get the doctor to abort Valerian, sweep it under the rug so no one would know, and I could still take my place as Alpha, like Valerian was some dirty secret. Valen growls at my words, and his knuckles turn white as he grips the steering wheel. I couldn't do it, so he kicked me out. I believe the reaction would have been the same, if not worse, if he knew you were his father.
You think he would have pinned you down and made you abort if he knew?
No, I believe he would have killed me, or come after our son once he was born, to use him as a tool against you. I couldn't allow that.
And now what's changed? Why can you be honest now?
Valerian has you. I know you'll keep him safe, I admit. I can tell just by his reaction to having a son. Zoe said it herself, too. She knew Valen's intentions were good, unlike some we'd come across over the years.
Can I ask how you came into the possession of a hotel, being rogue?
Valen asks, looking out at the place I call home, my village. I love this place, not just because of what it has given us, but because of where it came from and the history behind it. It was given to Valerian and me. We inherited it.
By your grandparents?
No, by the woman who owned it. When you kicked me out of the pack house, I went home, or tried to anyway. My father was gracious enough to let Valerian in the house after my mother begged him because it was raining. The next morning, Dad tossed some money at me and said he never wanted to see me again, that I was causing problems between him and Mom, so I went back to my car. I grabbed a few things, walked here, and met a woman, I told him. I look over at the doors where the main front counter is. I can still picture her clearly, like it was yesterday. Valerie sitting out front with a smoke between her lips, rough as guts, but with a heart of gold. She was a tough woman, a remarkable woman. I thought she was someone staying at the hotel, I chuckle. She was rogue also. She gave us a fresh start, offered me a job, paid for my schooling. She gave me hope. Then, when she died, she left it all to me.
Is that how you met Zoe and Macy?
No, I met them at the maternity ward. When I was given the job, we needed help to clean it up. The place was a dump. She gave them jobs too, said we would build our own village, that family is what you make it. So, once it was running and I found out about inheriting it, that's what I did. I built our village of rogues.
I guess I owe her one. She seems like a good woman.
She was. I can only dream of being half the woman she was. No words can describe how great she was.
Have you got pictures of what it looked like before? I honestly never knew the place existed.
Valen laughs. You want to see? I laugh before opening the door. Come on, I'll show you, I tell him. Valen hops out of the car before locking it and follows me toward the front entrance. The bell sounds as we walk in, and the secretary looks up. Coffee? No, we're fine, Jenny. Shouldn't you be clocked out? I ask her, knowing Emily should have been in for the afternoon shift. I was finished an hour ago. Emily never showed. I've been trying her cell, but no answer. That's very unlike Emily. She never misses a shift. She may have come down with that bug that's going around, Jenny suggests. I nod. Knock off. I'll handle the front desk till I can find someone to come in. Actually, I don't mind. I could use the overtime, if that's all right. I turn to face her and she looks down, fiddling with her fingers. Your son? I ask. She nods her head. Jenny is in her 50s and has a son who is constantly in trouble, especially with the police. She managed to get him into rehab a few weeks ago, making me wonder what was going on. With everything going on lately, I haven't had a chance to ask how he's doing. He sometimes helped the gardeners and the handywoman here. Everything all right? I ask her. Yeah, it's fine. She answers too quickly. Jenny? I don't want to ask because you bailed him out last month already, and I still owe you for that. You don't owe me anything. So what's he done now? You know we have emergency funds for staff. It's there to be used, to help when someone gets stuck. Her eyes dart to Valen for a second. I completely forgot he was still behind me. I glance back at him, and he looks at me. Nothing. He's doing great, actually. But the hospital's making him leave. I thought it was a 3-month program. It was supposed to be, but he isn't a priority on the waiting list.
But if he already got in, he should be fine to stay. I'm assuming you're talking about some rehab or medical facility?
Valen answers behind me. She looks at him for a second before looking at me, then does a double take of Valen, her eyes zeroing in on the mark on his neck. It's no secret in the hotel that Valen is my mate, yet we rogues stick together, and I suddenly worry what the other woman will think. I know they'll be happy I have a mate, but I hope they don't think they can't still come to me. You marked him? She asks. Yes, but it can't get out at the moment. Now, don't change the subject. What do you need? They're kicking him out unless he's a paying patient. They said they haven't got the beds for a rogue, she answers.
Bullshit. It's only at half capacity.
Valen growls behind me. Jenny looks down. It's because he's a rogue, Valen. No one helps rogues. You should have seen us getting this place running. We couldn't even get a handyman in without blackmailing them, I tell him, and he seems appalled at my words. Considering who his father is, at least he doesn't seem to hold the same views of rogues. Well, at least not as strongly. How much? I ask her, knowing how hard she tried to get him in there. $11,000, she breathes, before rubbing both hands down her face. Use the funds. It's what it's for. When he gets out, he can come work at the hotel for a bit, I tell her. That's a big chunk out of the emergency rogue funds. Not that anyone will complain. It's what it's for.
Don't worry about it. I'll handle it,
Valen says behind me. It's fine, Valen. We have the money here.
I don't care about the money. They gave him a place there. If he's doing well and not causing trouble, they have no reason to kick him out. That place relies heavily on donations and taxpayers' money. I'm assuming it's the main hospital, since rogues can't use the private ones.
She nods.
I'll take care of it. I'll place him in one of the private ones if they kick up a stink, but they won't. My pack funds half of that hospital.
Valen tells her with a shrug.
I'll need his information.
She looks around her desk before grabbing a sticky note and writing his name, date of birth, and address on it. She hands it to him, and Valen folds it, placing it in his pocket. Are you sure? We have a fund for this sort of stuff, I tell him.
Positive, but I would like to know more about this fund you have for your employees.
He answers. Thank you, Alpha. Jenny nods, and I see her shoulders relax like a ton of weight has just been lifted off her shoulders. Go home, Jenny. Rest, I tell her, but she shakes her head. I'm good until you find someone to take over, she says, just as the bell sounds. And I glance over at the door as Tatum walks in.
Just the man I wanted to see,
Valen says, and Tatum raises an eyebrow at him.
Yeah? Didn't you want me to keep watch again?
Tatum asks him, unsure.
Nope, change of plans. I'll do it tonight. I have another job for you.
He motions toward the desk.
You want me to move it?
Tatum asks, confused.
Nope. I want you to man it. Everly is down a staff member. What?
Tatum asks before staring at Jenny. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, I say.
Are you saying I can't answer some phones and work the front desk?
Tatum asks, like I just insulted his intelligence. It's more than answering phones, I tell him.
Can't be that hard,
Tatum says, walking around the desk. Jenny looks up at him, wide-eyed, before looking at me.
See, he can handle it,
Valen says. Why can I tell this is a bad idea? I pinch the bridge of my nose and shake my head. Valen, he's a security guard, not a secretary, I explain.
See? Killed 2 birds with 1 stone. He's now a guard and can do whatever Jenny was doing.
This is a bad idea. I'm sure I can find someone else, I say.
Nonsense. Jenny'll show 'em, and you can show me these photos,
Valen says, nudging me toward my office in the back. I glance at Jenny, and she shrugs before getting up. Tatum takes her seat, and she starts explaining things to him and showing him how to use the different phones. With a heavy sigh, I give in, though he'll definitely be the most buff secretary we've had manning the counter. He looks out of place behind the desk with its pink stationery. Unlocking my office door, I step in and move to one of the bookcases, grabbing down the hotel photo album. I sit at my desk, and Valen comes over to stand beside me. Opening the front page, there's an old black and white photo of Valerie's parents from when they owned it. I pull it out and pass it to him. In the photo, there's a man and a woman holding a baby, which Valerie said was her.
That doesn't look too bad,
Valen states, and I snort before flicking through to the photos Zoe and I took when I first came here. I pass them to him before grabbing another one out. Macy's brother took one of us facing the ruined hotel with our backs to the camera. All 4 of us standing out the front. Valerie's also in it, cigarette between her fingers as she looks at the rundown place. I hand it to him.
This the woman?
He asks, and I nod.
And Macy and Zoe. So you all started it together? The place looked like a dump.
He states. It was, I say.
So the 4 of you did all this?
He asks, sounding incredulous. Yep, 4 rogue whores and 3 babies restored this entire place, I tell him.
Who took the photo?
Macy's brother.
He didn't help?
I raise an eyebrow at him. What are you trying to say?
Nothing, just 4 women fixed all of this?
We may be women, but we're resourceful. Besides, Macy is more manly than her brother. She fights like a guy, too, so stay on her good side. He laughs, handing them back.
Noted. She definitely looks like a scrapper.
Oh, she is. I watched her beat a man with a 20-pound bag of flour once. She hauled it around like it weighed nothing.
What did he do?
He asked her how much.
How much for what?
How much for a night, Valen? He thought because she's rogue, she's a prostitute. That was when we first opened up. It was a bit of a shock when they found the place was run entirely by rogues. We ended up with a few creeps in at first.
So how did you handle that?
A few of the older ladies started bringing their sons in for the night shifts. Day shifts were easier. Macy would turf anyone that looked at us wrong. I laugh. Come on, we should check Valerian and give Zoe a break, I tell him, and he follows me through the hotel to the apartment. I'm stopped a few times by different staff, and by the time we get back to the apartment, it's dark. Walking in, I see Zoe doing puzzles with the kids. She smiles as she glances over the back of the couch at me before her eyes narrow in on Valen and her lips pull over her teeth. She stands abruptly, pointing an accusing finger at him before remembering the kids are in the room. I have no idea why she's mad, but I can tell she's livid about something. She steps over the kids and moves toward him. Valen, completely unaware of her anger, says hello to her before she opens the door behind him and shoves him out, slamming it shut behind her. I moved to the kitchen window and peered out. Valen has his hands in the air, and I crack the window open a little to eavesdrop. You keep your creepy, sniffing friend away from my daughter, she snarls. I glance at Casey, wondering what happened. Valerian looks up at me. Auntie Zoe's upset because we asked what shampoo and detergent she uses, Valerian explains, which only makes me more confused. You tell him to keep his sniffer away from my daughter.
He just liked the soap you use,
Valen tried to explain. Casey said he sniffed her repeatedly. Zoe growls at him.
I'll speak to him, but it was nothing bad. He just said the soap smells nice. Jeez.
It's fucking creepy. You don't go around sniffing people's kids. If that doesn't set off alarm bells in your head, nothing will.
My beta's not a creep. He would never harm your daughter, Zoe.
Valen says, defending Marcus. Keep him away from my daughter. Zoe huffs before going back to the door. She steps in and straightens her clothes, going back to the kids like nothing happened. Valen returns, looking awkward as hell, but the tension leaves the moment Valerian spots him and jumps up off the floor. Dad! He squeals, rushing over. Valen catches him and picks him up, kissing his cheek and hugging him tightly. I missed you, Valerian gushes, squeezing tight.
I missed you too,
Valen tells him before setting him on his feet. Zoe watches them, and I notice Casey does too, before looking up at her mother and snuggling against her. It must be hard seeing Valerian with his father. Casey sees hers, but usually only for 5 minutes when he stops in randomly before telling her some lie about needing to go to work. Yet she hasn't seen him since Officer Richards found out. Are you staying for dinner? Valerian asks. One of the chefs sent up stuffed peppers. You'll like those. There's plenty there. She always sends up too much, Zoe says. Having calmed down, her eyes dart to Valen's neck, and she raises an eyebrow at me before smiling, of course. And she would be happy. I look at her just as Valen speaks.
I was hoping to stay the night. Tatum's playing secretary in your lobby, and since Marcus is definitely off the table now,
Valen says, looking at me. You can stay for dinner, but we don't need a guard, I tell him. Please, Mom. He can sleep in my bed. I'll share with him, Valerian whines. That's not necessary, Val. We have a couch, but your father has... I stop, knowing he already admitted to wanting to stay, proving he has nothing better to do. One night, and only one, Valerian, I tell him, before also looking at his father so he knows not to ask for a second night.
Ah, see? I get to stay for the night,
Valen tells him as Valerian tugs on his hand, dragging him towards his puzzle. It feels strange having Valen under my roof. Awkward. Everything I usually do for Valerian, he suddenly asked his dad to do it, like cut up his food. I'm suddenly no longer needed. He asked for his father when it was his bath time. Most of my evening was spent twiddling my thumbs, since I only had to heat dinner up. Yet, Valen never once complained, and actually seemed to enjoy his son's constant attention. I dread when he eventually leaves, knowing it'll make my bond ache, so I know I'll be taking my pills that are hidden in the cupboard. Hopefully I can sneak them past Zoe. Even as I went to put Valerian to bed, he asked if his father could tuck him in. I know it was childish, but nights were the only time I got to spend with him, really, so it bothered me more than it should. I'm so used to juggling things between Zoe and me that it feels unnatural having someone willingly helping us, ruining our usual routine. I suddenly have time on my hands, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Once Valerian was tucked in bed, Valen returned to the living room. He scratched the back of his neck before looking at the empty spot beside me on the couch. I roll my eyes before moving over. He smiles, coming to sit next to me and draping his arm across the back of it. Finally, Casey is down for the night, Zoe says, coming out in her pajamas while braiding her hair. I've always been envious of how she can do that. I had tried and ended up only making a knotted mess, yet she does it so effortlessly. Zoe comes over and sits down on one of the kids' beanbags, the bag almost swallowing her petite frame as she sinks in it. I'm so damn tired, she yawns, covering her mouth with her hand. Ugh, and tomorrow will be worse. We're down 3 staff in the kitchens, 1 in the children's playgroup, 2 waitresses, and have a full house, Zoe sighs. Emily must also have the bug. She never showed up for work tonight, I tell her, getting up off the couch and walking over to the bookcase for my folder. I already checked the rosters for tomorrow, Zoe tells me, I sat back down with the folder, going to the events calendar. I know, we'll have to manage. I can work the lunch and night rush if you can handle the kids in the morning. Sounds like a plan. I'll wake you at 11. If you're still down the next day, we can swap. Macy already pulled doubles 2 days in a row, she says, and I nod. Zoe glances at the planner. What are you looking for? We need to find a date to move the Alpha meeting forward, I tell her, but the earliest date I can make work would be 1 week earlier, so instead of 3 weeks, it would be 2. The 12th? I ask him, and he looks over my shoulder, flicking through the pages before scrubbing his hand down his face.
What's wrong with this coming Friday? He
asks, looking at the empty slot. That's 6 days away. It wouldn't be enough notice, and I'm not sure if I can get supplies in early enough, I tell him.
Get in what you can. The rest I'll organize from one of my hotels and have it sent over. You still want to announce it, right?
I nod. Best to get it over and done with.
Then it has to be the 6th. I can go unseen for a few days, but 2 weeks? 2 weeks and the media will come looking for me,
he tells me.
Though I am a little shocked it stayed under wraps already. I'm surprised one of your staff hasn't sold the story yet,
he says, and Zoe glares at him. They aren't staff, they're family. We're all family. We stick together, she says, and Valen sticks his hands up in the air in surrender.
Settle down. You and Macy are the most aggressive rogues I've ever met. Jeez,
he says. Sorry, I'm just overtired. She rubs her eyes before reaching over and grabbing Casey's sweater off the ground. Shit, I forgot to wash it, Zoe groans. I also yawn, my eyes feeling like sandpaper, and I regret taking my pills earlier, now that I have to do some planning. Grab one of Valerian's for tomorrow, I tell her, and she nods. Her brows pinch together before she suddenly buries her face in it and breathes in. What is that? Gosh, it smells good. I want to eat it, she says to no one in particular. Valen raises an eyebrow at her and twirls his finger beside his head, and I chuckle when he mutters,
Cuckoo.
What? You smell it then, she snarls, tossing it at his head.
I wouldn't want to offend you by sniffing your daughter's sweater,
he mocks, and she rolls her eyes. Valen sniffs it before pulling a face.
Oh, yuck. I can't smell anything but Marcus. Thanks for making me get a whiff of my beta,
he says, shaking his head. You can't smell it? Zoe asks.
Yeah, I can smell it. Fucking reeks of 'em,
Valen says, rubbing his nose. I take it from him and sniff it. Yep, definitely your beta, I tell him. Zoe rubs a hand down her face. I must be more tired than I thought. I thought I could smell vanilla bean and fudge. She pouts for a second. Now I want vanilla fudge, she mutters unhappily.
Cravings. Are you sure you're not pregnant?
Valen laughs. Zoe looks at him, appalled. Not unless I'm giving birth to a baby bunny vibrator or baby batteries, she spits at him. I chuckle at her, while Valen just blinks, shocked at what she said. Go to bed. I'll fill out the order forms, I tell her, laughing. She nods, yawning as she gets to her feet, before moving off to her bedroom, muttering about finding some vanilla fudge tomorrow.
Night, Zoe.
Valen chuckles, and she flips him off over her shoulder before disappearing down the hall.
She is definitely my favorite out of your friends,
Valen states. What's wrong with Macy?
She threatened to castrate me and put me in an ant's nest. Tell me what's right with that one. Who says that, let alone thinks of something like that?
I laugh before looking over at the table. Tatum dropped some clothes off for you while you put Valerian to bed. They're on the table, I tell him, before reaching over to the coffee and grabbing a pen from the drawer. I sit back, pulling the order forms out to fax off tomorrow. Valen gets up and rummages through the bag Tatum dropped off.
Can I borrow your shower?
You can't borrow it, but you can use it, I tell him, I peek up at him. He has a silly grin on his face, and my lips tug at the corners. Towels are in the hallway,
Valerian showed me earlier,
he says, and walks soft down the hall, while I turn my attention back to my task.
Valen. Her shower is tiny. Every time I turn or move, I'm knocking crap down off the shower caddy or smashing my elbows on the walls. Getting in, I nearly knocked myself out on the shower head. It's that low. And why is everything pink? Pink shampoo, pink soap, pink shower curtain and floor mats. It's like a pink explosion in here. I didn't pick her as a girly girl. I should have used the kids' bathroom, not the joint one between Zoe and Everly's room. Turning back to the task at hand, I grab the pink loofah and sniff it. It smells of Everly, so the fluffy pom-pom pink thing must be Zoe's. I'm bending down under the shower head, trying to wash the shampoo out when I hear the door open. At first, I think it's Everly, until I hear the mention of fudge mumbled. I freeze. That's not Everly.
Remind me to call Emily tomorrow to check on her,
She calls out. Frozen, I wonder what she's doing in there before I hear what sounds like someone peeing. Were they that comfortable peeing in front of each other? Then again, Marcus and I were close, and he had no care about taking a leak in front of me.
Everly?
She asks. I say nothing before suddenly the shower curtain is ripped back and we make eye contact. Her weary gaze goes to my shocked one, and her eyes widen when she screams, scaring the crap out of me. I grasp the shower curtain, trying to shut it while she tries to cover herself where she's sitting on the toilet peeing. The shower curtain is flimsy. I yank it closed, only for it to rip off, and the motion catches me off guard. I lose my footing on the slippery surface. I somehow end up sprawled out on the floor, my head bent awkwardly in the corner of the shower, and my legs spread in a very inappropriate manner, exposing me to a horrified Zoe.
Shit! Fuck! I thought you... Ugh! I can see your dick and balls! I can see it all! I want to unsee it!
Zoe shrieks, covering her eyes.
Everly!
Shh! Stop! Don't call her in here, I choke out, trying to unwedge myself. Damn, how embarrassing and awkward. We make eye contact. Eye contact, while both of us are in a very vulnerable state.
What? Are you all right? Oh my God, you're bleeding. I'll get Everly.
She gushes, about to run from the room, but I move, grabbing her ankle as she goes to dart out. I'm fine. Let's just never speak of this moment again, I gasp. My back is killing me, and I reach behind me, pulling out the pink back scrubber that's digging into my rear. I drop it on the floor before looking up at Zoe, who's staring at the ceiling.
You good, dude? Alive?
Just great, I tell her, covering myself with the torn shower curtain.
Nice chat,
she says, quickly closing the door. I stumble out of her death-trap shower and over to the mirror. The corner of my ear is bleeding and running down the side of my face. I clean it up before drying and putting on some boxers. We'll add that memory to the most awkward situation file in my head. Man, I can never look that girl in the eye again. Walking out, I find Everly passed out on the couch. Her mouth is wide open, with her head tilted, bent back awkwardly. I sigh, relieved when I realize we didn't wake her. Scooping her up, she doesn't even stir, making me wonder how much she actually works, since she could sleep through all that noise I just made and Zoe screaming. Walking up the hall, I stop when Valerian calls out as I pass his door.
Are you sleeping in here, Dad?
He asks, rubbing his eyes. I peek around his door and give him a nod. Go back to sleep. I'll be here in the morning when you wake up. His eyes move to his mother in my arms.
Can I sleep with you and Mom?
He asks, suddenly brightening up excitedly, and I look down at Everly. I intended to sleep on the couch because Valerian's bed is far too small, but if Valerian is in there, maybe she won't mind.
Please?
He whispers, but he's already climbing out of bed. Okay, but be quiet. We don't want to wake your mother.
Mom could sleep through a tornado. The only thing that wakes her is her alarm once she's asleep. Auntie Macy let off an air horn, and she didn't even move. I don't know how her alarm wakes her,
He says, walking ahead and pushing the door open. Really? I ask him.
Yep, probably the medication that Grandma Val gave her. She takes them sometimes when she can't sleep. She took them just before dinner.
Valerian says as I place her down on the bed. I thought she took Tylenol, so this was news to me. Yet she did give me a funny look when I caught her popping pills like she was caught doing something she shouldn't be doing. Valerian climbs in the middle, tugging the blankets up. Grandma Val works here? I ask him, climbing in beside him.
No, she died when I was a baby. She gave us the hotel to build our village,
Valerian says, yawning. He places his head on my chest and snuggles closer. If you were a baby, how do you know she gave them to your mom?
because I heard Auntie Zoe and Auntie Macy arguing with Mom over her taking them. Something about them making her infertile. They said Grandma told her to take them only sometimes, if the pain is too bad, because they have wolfsbane in them, and she shouldn't spend her life numb.
I stared up at the ceiling, feeling guilty. Wolfsbane is poison to werewolves, but it also has medicinal properties in low doses, like pain relief because it kills the nerves and paralyzes you temporarily, yet too much can kill you.
What does infertile mean?
Valerian asks. I don't answer and just ask another question. Your mom doesn't take them all the time, I ask him, and he shakes his head.
No, Auntie Zoe banned them from the house, but she has a secret stash in the pantry. I saw her grab them out earlier while Zoe wasn't looking. She keeps them in the raisin box. Zoe hates raisins, and so does Casey.
I glance over at Everly, passed out cold. Get some sleep, I tell Valerian, kissing his head.
Love you, Dad.
Valerian mumbles. Love you too, I tell him. Tomorrow I'll find that stash and confront her, I think to myself as my eyes close.